Hi everyone. Since it's a long time we have met, and I thought of conducting an online classes. So for completing the SPVT1 syllabus, we have already gone through half of the almost completed the fourth unit. Also, we have left with only fifth unit, but most of you are not there in the class when I was discussing the fourth unit. So I thought of completing the fourth unit again. I thought of revising the fourth unit again through online lectures. Then I'll discuss the fifth unit. Now let's see what is the fourth unit of the SPVT1. And I already told you it is the heart of the total solar energy stream. The stream consists of four subjects: SPVT1, SPVT2, design and economics of solar PV systems, and the fourth one is solar thermal energy conversion. So out of these four, now we are in the first subject, SPVT1. So we have gone through three of the units, they are over, but this fourth unit is a very important and heart of the complete this particular subject. It's the heart of this subject as well as the heart of the complete stream, right? So 5 4 20 chapters are there. Already 3 chapters are over, so 17 chapters are there in the next three subjects. So it is the heart of all those stuff. If you understand this unit, then everything will be clear. So please focus and listen to it carefully. Coming to the syllabus, the unit 4 is parameters of a solar cell. Here we are going to discuss open circuit. What is an open circuit voltage? What is short circuit current? What is series and shunt resistances? Single diode model of a solar cell, IV characteristics of a PV cell, cell efficiency, fill factor, effect of irradiation and temperature, and we will see much more than the syllabus. Initially we will start with the IV characteristics of a solar cell. And before understanding that, let's discuss about the two elements which we have already came across in BEEE. What are those elements? Active and passive elements. So what is an active element? The element which generates the power is known as an active element. What are the examples of an active element? Voltage source, current source, a generator. And coming to our subject, PV cell is a active element because all these four, voltage source, current source, generator and PV cell, will generate the power, right? And what is a passive element? The element which consumes or dissipates or stores power or energy are known as passive elements. So which will consume the power are known as passive elements. What are the passive elements? We know resistance, inductor, capacitor and the motor. Motor will take the power, as well as a diode. We know a diode, right? Diode will take the power, as well as it is also a passive element. So let's take these two terminologies here. Power convention terminology. If power is positive, that is if power is nothing but voltage into current, if the product is positive, it is taken as a power absorption, means it acts as a sink. That is a passive element. A passive element will absorb the power. Therefore power is positive, voltage is positive and current is also positive. Then we will call it as a V into I. V into I. V positive, I positive. So the multiplication is positive and we will call it as a positive power, which is nothing but power absorption. The element is absorbing the power. The resistance will absorb the power. The diode will absorb the power and they acts as a passive element. Otherwise they call it as sink. In this sink or a passive element, power flows into the element because they are not able to generate the power. They will just suck the power into them. So power flows into the element. Whereas the other power convention is active element. Here in the case of an active element, power should be negative. In that case, voltage will never be negative. Voltage into current we can take it as negative current, minus I. V into minus I will be minus VI. So power is negative. It is nothing but power generation. So whenever the power is positive, it is a power absorption. Whenever the power is negative, we call it as power generation. That is, it acts as a source or an active element. If it is a source or an active element, the power flows out of the, because it is generating the power, and that's why power flows out of the element. This is the difference between an active element and a passive element. Now let's discuss a small thing. PV cell. Now we need to talk about modeling of a photovoltaic cell or a PV cell. Now it's clear thing that what is a PV cell? It's nothing but a P side and N side. It's nothing but a PN junction diode. That PN junction diode, what is a PN junction diode? It's a passive element. But what is a PV cell? Active element. How it will be? Same PN junction combination will act as a passive element, and the same PN junction combination will act as a active element. How it is possible? A diode cannot produce a power, but the solar panel made up of the same materials can produce the power. How? That is our point of interest now. Now let's discuss it. Let's take a diode. PV cell means a diode. Let's take a diode. The positive side, P side, is the anode, and the negative side, N side, is called the cathode. Now because it's a diode, it's a passive element, power has to flow into it. Therefore, it will take the power. Therefore, we have connected an external circuit and power is given to the diode. So therefore the power flow is from external circuit to the diode, and the voltage across the diode will be VAK. Voltage across the diode will be voltage across the anode and cathode, VAK. The arrow head there, which is representing the VAK, represent a positive polarity, and the arrow tail represents the negative polarity. So anode is positive and cathode is K is negative, and current is flowing from anode to the cathode. So from external circuit to the diode, the current is flowing. The diode is taking the current. So therefore the direction of the current is from anode to cathode. That is from P side to N side. Therefore power is what? Voltage into current. What is the voltage across the diode? VAK. And what is the current flowing through the diode? I. So both are positive, and therefore positive current, positive power. Therefore power, it is nothing whenever the power is positive, it is nothing but power absorption, and it acts as a sink or a passive element. The diode acts as a sink and it does not generate any power. But what is the point of interest now? We are modeling a PV cell, but PV cell will generate the power. So what extra element that we need to add to the circuit in order to make it act as a source? It is the point of interest now. What is the extra element that we need to add into the circuit in order to make this PV cell acts as a solar cell to generate the energy? Now, what are the VA characteristics of a diode? As you can see in the graph, it's a VA characteristics. VAK is in the x-axis and I is in the y-axis, and you got a curve like this. So it's a forward bias characteristics, right? It's a forward bias because it's a diode. We'll get a forward bias characteristics. Right. So power voltage is positive, x-axis is positive, positive y-axis. Therefore power is equal to VAK into I. So it is positive. So power absorption. So diode is acting like a sink and it is taking the power from external source. Right. Now, as I already told you, the first quadrant is a dissipation quadrant because it is taking the power. It is dissipating the power. It is absorbing the power. So voltage is positive, current is positive, so power is positive, it acts as a sink. So power is flowing into the device from external circuit to the diode. In order to, so how can we make it act? So if it acts as a solar cell, so for suppose if this diode acts as a solar cell, then what happens? Power has to flow from the diode, from the device into the external circuit. Right, so power has to flow out of the device in order to generate the power. In order that the diode has to generate the power has to flow out of the device. So what to do? Say for example, fourth quadrant, power voltage is positive, VAK, current is negative. So voltage is positive, current is negative, so it is negative. So total power is negative. So it acts as a source. So what happens now? So in order to make the current negative, what I have to do? In the first case, in the first quadrant, in the first quadrant, the current is flowing from anode to cathode. Now I need to change the direction of the current. You can see in the bottom diagram clearly. In the top diagram, when the diode is act like a sink, the current is flowing from anode to cathode. In the fourth quadrant diagram, in order to make the diode as a solar cell, I need to change the direction of the current from cathode to anode. I just reversed the current direction, so it becomes negative current. So the current direction at the terminal has to be reversed in order to convert the PN junction diode into solar cell which generate the power. Right, it's simple, it's very simple. That the analogy is that I need to convert, in order to convert the sink into source, in order to convert the diode which is a passive element into a solar cell which is an active element, I need to, what I have to do, I need to just reverse the current direction at the anode and cathode terminals. Even when it is acting as a diode, the current is moving from anode to cathode. Now I need to make that current flow from cathode to anode in order to make the power flow out of the device into the external circuit. It is my intention. But how? How to reverse the current direction? It is the $1 million question. How to reverse this current direction? It is a very key to our explanation now. The next slide. You can see it here. The top diagram, it's a PN junction diode. Top one is a N layer and the bottom one is a P layer, and in between we have a depletion region. In the depletion region, positive charges are there towards the N layer and negative charges are there towards the P layer. Now it is a normal PN junction diode. Now when sunlight strikes on the cell, what happens? When sunlight strikes the solar cell, in the second diagram, when sunlight strikes the solar cell, electron hole pairs will be generated in the depletion region, and this electron is a positive charge and negative charged particle, and hole is a positive charged particle. Since there are positive charges in the N layer at the beginning of the N layer, right, so the negative charged electrons are attracted towards the N layer by these positive charges, whereas at the same time there are negative charges at the beginning of the P layer. These positive charged holes are attracted by the negative charged ions at the entrance of the P layer, and the electrons will move upwards towards the N layer and holes will move towards the P layer, as you can see in the third diagram. So all the positive charges will be moved towards the P layer and all the negative charges will be moved towards the N layer. Because of the separation of the charges between the P layer and N layer, and a potential difference will be developed across these two sides of a cell, and the solar cell starts generating the power. Now what do you understand by this? A normal diode, if you keep it inside a room, it acts as, take a PV panel, if you keep it inside a room, it acts as a PV cell. That's it. But whenever you pass the current through it, that is when the current, whenever you take the solar panel and keep it in the sunlight, sunlight strikes the solar panel. Whenever the sunlight strikes the solar panel, what happens? Now it starts generating the power. It acts as a solar cell. Now what extra element we need to add in order to make the sink into source is the solar energy. That solar energy can be represented in the form of a current source, IP, which is a photon current, IP. Sunlight consists of photons. The flow of photons is nothing but a current, and thereby the solar energy will be represented in the form of a current source, that is a IP. I am adding an IP to the left of the diode. Now you can see, now I have three currents there, IP, ID and I. IP is clearly, we can say by applying KCL, IP is the incoming current and I and ID are the outgoing currents. So sum of incoming currents equal to sum of outgoing currents. So IP is equal to ID plus I. In the top diagram, in the first quadrant, you can see the current direction is from anode to cathode. That current is nothing but the diode current, right? Now here in the bottom diagram also, the current flowing through the diode is also from anode to cathode. I am not changing the current direction across the diode. I have just added one more source, IP, because sunlight is falling on the solar cell. The diode current still flows in the same direction, but the terminal current I reverses its direction and now starts flowing from cathode to anode, and thereby voltage is positive. As you can see, anode to cathode voltage VAK, the top arrow is pointing towards the anode only, so VAK is positive. But what about the current, terminal current? In the above case it is into the element, now in the below case it is out of the element, so it is negative current, minus I. So power is V into minus I will be negative. So now the diode acts as a solar cell, that is an active element, right? Is that clear? Now as the solar ray, when the sunlight falling on the solar cell increases, what happens? As the sunlight falling on the solar cell increases, the photon current I increases. Since IP is equal to ID plus I, ID is constant. As IP increases, I also increases, right? So I also now this I is a negative I. negative I. It's a negative I. So it increases. Initially the small I is 0. Now it is increasing. Now whenever IP is increasing, I also increasing. I also increasing in negative way. That is -1, -2, -3, -4. It's increasing. That is, it is moving downwards. You can see the curve here. In the previous case, whenever sunlight doesn't fall on it, say for example, the curve is at the first quadrant. Now the curve is shifting downwards because as the photon current I increases, the terminal current I also increases. Here the increase means in the negative direction. So the curve is shifting downwards. So as the solar cell intensity increases, photon current increases, thereby the terminal current also increases and the curve is shifting downwards. Now let us see this diagram. In the first quadrant, that is whenever the solar cell is not fed by the solar cell, so solar energy, then it is nothing but a passive element. It's the power dissipation. That is, whenever IP is equal to 0, these are called the dark characteristics of a solar cell. What are the dark characteristics of a solar cell? It is nothing but the characteristics of a PN junction diode. But whenever the photon current increases, the terminal current also increases and the curve shifts downwards. Whenever the curve shifts downwards, the negative I is increasing and the power is generating more, right? And the power generated will be also more. So when the photon current is proportional to solar radiation intensity, whenever the solar radiation intensity increases, IP also increases because both are directly proportional. As solar radiation falling on the solar cell increases, IP increases. Whenever the IP increases, since IP is equal to ID plus I, ID is constant. As IP increases, what happens to I? I also increases. So when sunlight falling on the solar cell increases, photon current IP increases and terminal current I also increases proportionally, and the characteristic shifts downwards corresponding to the increase in the photon current. I keep on increasing the solar radiation intensity, so IP is keep on increasing, I is also keep on increasing, so the curve is shifting downwards. It is about the characteristics of a solar cell, right? But one thing, as you see this diagram, are you psychologically comfortable with this diagram? Generally, as a human beings, we all like we all have an affinity towards the positive quadrant. We like the things, we will understand the things in the first quadrant only. But if it is in the fourth quadrant, it's very difficult to understand the things. So what we will do is, for convenience, for our purpose, we are just now flipping the axis. That is, voltage axis is same. We'll take this diagram. So consider this pen. Voltage axis is same. Current axis will be like this, right? It is a positive Y. The cap is a positive Y, right? And the bottom is a negative Y. Now what I am doing, keeping the voltage axis same, I am just flipping this current axis. Now negative current came to positive side and positive current came to negative side, and the curve is shifted to first quadrant. Even though it's a first quadrant, even though it's a first quadrant, because it's a negative Y, the I is a negative Y and voltage is a positive voltage, the fourth quadrant, but for our convenience we take it as a first quadrant. For our appearance it looks like a first quadrant, but the operation is in negative quadrant. It is a fourth quadrant only. But normally the photovoltaic cell is considered to be a generator, and one would like to see it operating in the first quadrant as our psychological reasons. So therefore we now redefine the characteristics, keeping the voltage axis same but reversing the current so that it becomes a positive when it is flowing out of the terminal. And it is flowing out of the terminal, for our appearance it looks like a positive current. We are just flipping the current axis, that's it. Right, now this has been done by just flipping the current axis. If I just flip the axis, so the curve which is in the negative quadrant will come to the positive quadrant. That is it. Just I am flipping this axis. That's it. For our psychological convenience. Now these are the IV characteristics of a solar cell. I is on the y-axis and VAK is voltage is along the y-axis, and I have a curve like this. And I have a curve like this. So, and at the top left I have given the circuit diagram of a solar cell. IP equal to ID plus I is the solar cell. It is how the solar cell will work out, and the remaining things we will see in the next class. Thank you.